funding strategies to plant more trees because it actually creates happier people. It reduces things like suicidal ideation. I mean, we're just learning about these things right now. But processes that actually deny people the opportunity to have input into their community when overlay districts are created that remove residents' decision making, those kinds of processes make a community an unhealthy place to live. And I will regularly speak out on those because they are against my values. And I don't like it that we don't talk in those terms because that's actually a big part of what matters in our lives. And then we dishonor the people who are trying to protect that by not having them be on our boards and commissions anymore. I find that very dishonoring. And there's a conflict of interest around this stuff too, that people don't talk about enough either.
Anyone else wishing to speak in the public hearing? So the first thing is we need to act on the planning board's approvals, correct? Changes that were made by the planning board. Need to accept?
That's correct, but Mr. President, if there's only a disagreement among the council about the issue of the trees, I would take that one separately. If there seems to be a disagreement, otherwise I would vote on all the planning board changes in one, as presented at the meeting, all in one vote, and then get into your individual changes.
Could that be deletion from those changes?
Yes.
That's what I was getting at. So we accept the planning board's recommendations and changes to the ordinance.
I vote.
Right. So is there a motion to accept and approve the changes that were made by the planning board in the document dated December 6, 2019 from the planning board, the town plan?
Mr. President, I will accept it for further discussion. I want to make it clear that we're not just going to adopt it, we're going to discuss it. So the motion.
Well, Mr. Vice President, the reason why I indicate that you've got to move the document forward. So these are the changes that were presented, and my recommendation is you approve the changes in total, and then make your motions to change them if you really have or add things. Because I'm concerned with this getting convoluted and the final document, because this is the second reading. This is your second reading. We've gone through this a couple of times. If you don't feel comfortable adding the changes in total, you got one of two choices: vote against it, or separate the issues out, which is going to even slow that potentially convoluted.
So we make the motion to accept and approve the changes. On the discussion, is that when we make the changes, or
all in the open meeting? The open session. Public session.
I understand that. So what I'm saying is, do we make those changes as we're going through the discussion part of this now? Or do we make the motion to accept it and approve it, and then go back into it and make the changes? Or are the changes made during discussion?
You're in public hearing.
Public hearing.
I recommend that you accept or reject the changes in total of the planning board. The document's not approved, it's just the changes. Now,
that's what we're trying to get. Pick the word approval.
Any additional changes. I just want the first motion to be to accept or reject the planning board changes.
Yes. See, the word approval has me concerned. Right. Because then we voted to approve it, game over.
So I'll withdraw my motion. Or actually, you made a motion. I was looking for a motion. Is there the motion second withdrawn? Is there even a second? There was no second. There was no motion.
I move it.
Okay. You want to make a motion?
Yeah, Mr. President, I'll make a motion to accept the findings of the Town of North Smithfield Planning Board regarding zoning amendment sections 5, zoning district use in section 5.7, solar photovoltaic systems installation.
Dated December 6th.
Dated December 6, 2009.
Changes? You said findings?
No, I would accept their findings. What they put, did I say findings? I would accept what they recommended.
They recommended.
Yes, to accept that, then of course, we're not approving it, we just accept it.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ogier. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Barnamoli? Yes. Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Now, Mr. President, that document, as it's been stricken with red and added with blue, is now before you for additional changes or
Still in the public hearing.
no public hearing.
Okay. So now do we go through this page by page, on this page, these are there, do we,
I will do it item by item at
Right.
this point.
As we get the changes
because
that
we
are-
don't have a comprehensive list. And the clerk is going to need to record this. And this is second reading. as you know.
so we're gonna be, the first edits that are in this are on page 5-17, where they changed the special use permit in the BH, BN, LC, and manufacturing from special use permit to a yes, that is allowed. And also, that was on number 9, and then on number 10, in the BH, the LC, in the manufacturing, there's a italicized item number 10. It says allowed by right within development portions of existing development site of 2 or more acres. Those are the changes in the use page. Do we accept those changes?
Well, you accepted those changes.
Okay, we've accepted. So now we can approve them?
All you need to do now is to make the additional change that everybody spoke about, and then finally approve the document as amended. But that was an amending stage to this document. You haven't approved it, but you made amendments to it.
Okay. So is there any, so if we want no change on this piece, we just leave it alone?
Exactly.
Okay, so is anyone looking for a change in the use
Madam
table?
Clerk, are you with me on that?
Yes, I understand.
Are we looking for any changes on the use table? Okay. And we're okay with, on page 5-20, we're fine with item 10, the language that's added in item 10.
Yes.
Way into the thing.
551.
551. Yep. So now, page 551, under section 5.71, purpose.
Mr. President, this is where we discussed, I
Yep.
brought up, where you see the stricken decommission and removal. I would like to see the words decommission and, not stricken, and to retain it, or to reinsert it back into the, I would like to see decommission and remove.
Do you need a motion for every change?
Yes, I do.
So that's a motion?
So there's a motion by Mrs. Zelinski to re-add decommissioning and before removal in the first paragraph.
Second.
And second by Mrs. Barnamoli. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Barnamoli? Yes. Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes. The next part is in blue, David. If we don't want any changes, it just stays. On page 552, any changes looking to be made in 5.7.3? On page 553, are we looking to make any changes? All fine. On page 554, we're looking to make any changes? No. Page 555, we're looking to make any changes in 5.7.5? No changes looking to be made there? 5.56, any changes looking to be made there? 5.57? Nothing on 5.58. 5.59?
No.
5.60? 5.61. Any changes looking to be made? I think a motion that we remove item 8 5.7 about the trees. I think it's going to be more problematic than it's going to be helpful.
Did you say 8 or 7? Number 7.
Number 8, item 7.
Okay, got it. Yep. Okay.
Start on page.
Roman numeral 7, is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Item 8, Roman numeral 7. I make a motion that we strike that language.
Second.
Motion by the chair, second by Mrs. Bonioli. Any other discussion?
I still think it's a mistake. I just want to be on the record. I know that it's, I've heard a lot up here, well, it's too hard. It's too hard to do this. We can't enforce it. What's the purpose? I mean, sometimes doing the hard thing is doing the right thing. Yeah, we're making things easier for a developer. And that is my belief in that matter, is that I think we should be looking for the best benefit for the town as a whole. And to clear cut, there are some towns that you can't even remove the gravel that you extract. You have to leave it on the physical property for the duration of the project. So, yeah, maybe that's easier to monitor. I think by taking away trees and by saying that we're doing the town a benefit, that clear cutting a forest is the best thing to reduce the carbon offset doesn't make sense to me. And so, I mean, I'm going to be voting no. I think it's pretty obvious, but I would hope that people would think long and hard about what the future is going to look like in this town if we don't stop putting safeguards in place. I mean, if a developer wants to come in and seek that dimensional relief, they should have to be willing to comply. Otherwise, why would we want that person doing business in our town if they can't comply with our ordinances? That is setting a bad example, not just for the people today, but for the people tomorrow. And I think that we should stop holding our developers to a higher standard. And yes, many of them are good. And I am for pro-business wherever it can be. But I think at some point we need to draw a line and say that we need to be sure that we're being more holistic in nature and say that, yeah, we have to do the right thing. And the right thing is preserving the environment. And I'm not one to, normally say that, that's the one thing that I'm willing to tip my hat on. But, I think at some point in time, especially when these projects are seeking greater than 6 acres, it's time that we have to stop doing something. Otherwise, we're just going to end up like Coventry. We're going to end up like West Greenwich. We're going to end up like the other states in this town that are fighting hard to realize that they made a mistake when they didn't do enough to ensure that the environment came first. And so I'm going to leave it there.
I'd like to, well said, Council. I can't add anything to it. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bonioli? Yes. Mrs. O'Hara?
No.
Mr. Rozier?
No.
Mr. Zelinski?
No.
Mr. Vadney?
Yes. Motion does not carry. The language stays. Any other changes on 5-61? 5-62?
I had that. I marked this down to help.
Yeah, I have it.
You're going to change that to section 578, security cash bond for the decommissioning. That's how it's going to read. That's what you said.
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any?
But
Are there any other changes that we're looking for in that section?
Well, why don't we?
Or you want to make just one change at a time?
Just take it to the title.
I do.
Yeah.
Clerk is trying to follow this, and we want to make sure this is the final reading. So I wasn't expecting to be doing this kind of editing on the last reading.
So I will make a motion to accept that language, security cash bond for the decommissioning of unused.
Motion by Mrs. Weinstein, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ogier. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bonioli? Yes. Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mr. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadney?
Yes.
And that same section, towards the end of it, just before the blue added text at the end of the paragraph, at the bottom of the page there, you had where the sentence reads, funds remain after the necessary expenditures, the municipality shall reimburse the applicant, owner, successor, or assign. I don't know where you left that, if you want to put that language in or not.
Should we put that or not?
Put it, you can put it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to hurt. At this point, we talk about it.
So it's the applicant, owner,
Successor.
successor, or sign. So is there a motion
So
to add
moved.
that language?
Yes.
Motion by Mr. Zelinski, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ogier. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Barbarola?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes. And that next language is fine, correct? Mr. Travis? We're not looking to make any changes. The blue language is right behind that, right after that.
Right, well, there was, on the next page, 563.
And then on the B, we were looking to make a change. Decommissioning shall be overseen and certified by the town's peer review engineer for the funds are released at the cost of the,
That you had at the applicant's and/or owner's expense and cost.
Correct. That's a motion.
motion by Mrs. Zelinski, second by Mrs. O'Hara. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Sorry, I'm trying to say Barbarola. Mrs. Barbarola?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes. And then number C, Mrs. Zelinski was looking to make a change after the addition in blue to reflect the same thing that the peer review engineer costs shall be borne by the owner applicant. Correct?
Right, putting that back. The cost of this peer review shall be borne by the applicant. Is that how you had it?
Yeah. So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski,
Second.
second by Mrs. O'Hara and Mrs. Bonioli. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Barbarola?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
That was it.
That's it. So now we made all of those
We
changes.
have one more change. Councilman Bottomoli was talking about subsection.
I didn't,
You didn't put it in
I didn't
subsection.
submit those. Right.
It was the one, it was part of the subsection regarding decommissioning. I'm trying to think what section that was. It was 5.4.
Is that where you were looking for the lien?
Yeah. The lien.
I'm just looking for that section.
We had a discussion about making sure
Oh,
the
it's on page
taxpayers.
5-61.
In the what section?
Page 5-61, subsection 10.
Right.
So there's going to be two conditions of approval. The one that's stated here that you've already amended, and this Councilman Bottomoli wanted to add another one. I'm going to just suggest a minor change in your language, but I'll read it. As a condition of approval, the landowner must be named as a responsible party along with the developer for the removal and restoration of the property. And I think that's where it should stop. I don't think it matters in the landowner's executed lease agreement between the developer. I don't think the town cares. I don't think the town cares about their agreement. It's a condition of approval that the landowner shall also be a responsible party. The applicant's responsible for decommissioning, and so is the landowner. So I'll read it one more time. I would just add it,
Cross out the end.
right at the end of 10, after the words conditions, right there, in blue, I'm going to say,
The landowner must be named as a responsible party along with the developer for the removal and restoration of the property.
right.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Motion by Mrs. Bottomoli. Is there a second?
Yes.
Second by Mrs. O'Hara for that change. Any other discussion?
Lily's got that one.
It
Right?
should be,
I got it.
the landowner,
I got it.
the landowner shall also be named.
Right.
Madam Clerk, it says, the landowner shall also be named.
Yeah.
Do you see where this?
Yeah.
Instead of what she has that says must, it should say shall.
Right.
Shall.
Change the word. Oh, so shall be named?
Yeah.
The landowner shall also
Shall also
be
be named.
named. The applicant's going to be named, so shall the owner.
Okay. And then where was it gonna, you cut something off of it at the end too, didn't you?
It's right at the end of 10.
No, just no. No, stop.
Oh, it ends with the restoration of the property. period.
Restoration of the property, cross out in the landowners. Oh, thank you. All right, thank you.
I think that accomplishes it going on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote?
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara? Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes. Now,
Well, are there any more amendments? Are there any more
are there
amendments?
any more amendments?
Going
I
once.
think we beat this one.
So.
Then I would
Now we
close
close
the
the public
public
hearing
hearing.
and then vote on the document, accept the second reading as amended.
Mr. President, motion to close public hearing.
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski, seconded by Mrs. O'Hara. Roll call vote?
Mrs. Bottomoli?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara? Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mr. Zalinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes. Next is discussion by council